Kính thưa quý vị của O2 Production, quý vị khán giả sẽ thấy Phạm Đức đứng ở đây tại Asia Times Square trong Pearl Ballroom. Và thưa quý vị, hôm nay là buổi lễ khai mạc cho chợ hoa ngày Tết của Asia Times Square và Hồng Kông Marketplace. Trong cái thời tiết ấm áp cũng như là trong cái không khí mùa xuân đang đến, một lần nữa chúng tôi xin kính chào quý khán giả của O2 Quang Hùng Production. Xin quý vị theo dõi những phần phóng sự chúng tôi ghi nhận sau đây.
Mừng Tết đến và lâu đến nhà nhà, cánh mai vàng cành đào hồng thắm tươi.
Chúc cụ già được sống lâu sống thọ, cùng con cháu sang năm lại đón Tết sang.
Và kính chúc người người sẽ gặp lành, Tết sau được nhiều rau hơn Tết này.
Tết đến đoàn tụ cùng ngõ bên bếp hồng và nồi bánh trưng xanh chờ xuân đang sang.
Your viewer of O2 Production, next to me Mr. Matthew Low, CEO of Asia Times Square. Sir, could you please say some word about the opening ceremony today for chợ hoa ngày Tết tại Asia Times Square and Hong Kong Marketplace?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I want to thank you and the O2 production for participating and help broadcasting this very important event to us. Asia Times Square, we're much more than just a business. And this is something that my dad really wanted to do many, many years ago, is to create an environment to bring back the tradition of celebrating Tet. He wanted to bring Tet here that, our younger generation doesn't forget the roots. And so that our older generation can continue to live and enjoy those precious moments they used to celebrate back in Vietnam. So, our event's getting bigger and better each and every year, but that is a huge thank to our Vietnamese community. Truly is. I mean, Hong Kong Marketplace, we've been in business, Joe, for 36 years.
36 years.
36
wow,
years.
Wonderful.
Yes, and we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't be able to be in business that long without the support from your viewers and our Vietnamese community. They are so wonderful to us.
Thank you very much. And today, the weather very wonderful, warmer, and and outside I saw many people come already. Okay, good luck, and celebrate New Year, the year of the rabbit. Okay,
and the cat.
Okay, I saw.
On behalf of my family, Hong Kong Marketplace, Asia Times Square, we want to wish everybody chúc mừng năm mới, and most importantly, happiness and great health.
Vâng, chúc mừng năm mới, happy năm mới.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cánh én nơi nơi, khắp phố người người đi hái lòng. Đẹp xinh đất trời, màu áo trắng tung bay cùng muôn ngàn hoa. Trong Tết trong xuân, lòng phụng về đây sum vầy.
Phát lộc tài ở khắp nơi phố phường, một năm mới an khang bình an bên nhau.
Vâng, xin chào quý khán giả của O2 Production. Bên cạnh chúng tôi là cô Bích Lâm, là quý vị là thấy một gương mặt quen thuộc của Asia Times Square rồi.
Bích Lâm xin đại diện cho Asia Times Square và Hồng Kông Marketplace. Kính chào quý đồng hương và cũng cảm ơn O2 Production.
Cảm ơn Bích Lâm rất nhiều. Nhưng mà lúc nãy ở ngoài khi mà Phạm Đức vào đó đã thấy nhiều người đã đi vòng vòng trong parking và bây giờ là xe đông lắm rồi. Thì ở ngoài chương trình hôm nay cũng bắt đầu luôn hay sao ạ?
Dạ, chương trình của chúng em là đầu tiên là sẽ bắt đầu ở bên trong cái ballroom này trước, là bắt đầu từ 6 giờ sẽ bắt đầu kiểu giống như là tiếp đón quan khách. Và sau khi mà chương trình ở trong này làm cũng được hơn 2/3 của chương trình rồi, thì cái ở bên ngoài của cái hallway, nghĩa là chúng em cũng có một cái sân khấu khác và cũng sẽ có ca sĩ đến hát trong tối hôm nay ạ. Dạ, xin kính chào quý đồng hương và xin chúc quý đồng hương một năm mới an khang thịnh vượng. Bye.
Happy New Year.
and gentlemen, welcome to the 16th annual Lunar New Year opening ceremony at Asia Times Square. My name is Teresa Nguyen, and I am honored to be serving as your Master of Ceremonies tonight. On behalf of Asia Times Square, Hong Kong Market, and the Low Foundation, I'd like to the warmest welcome and to thank you for your presence here tonight. Xin hân hạnh chào đón quý vị đến buổi tiệc khai mạc Tết Nguyên đán thứ 16 tại Asia Times Square. Teresa cùng ban tổ chức của Asia Times Square, siêu thị Hồng Kông và Low Foundation xin gửi lời chào mừng nồng nhiệt nhất và xin chúc cho quý vị một năm mới an khang thịnh vượng. Trong những giây lát này, Teresa sẽ giới thiệu lên sân khấu hai quý vị quan trọng nhất ở đêm nay, và lúc đó xin quý vị cho họ một tràng pháo tay thật nồng nhiệt nhé. In a moment, I'm going to be introducing the two most important people this evening. So at that time, I'd like you to give the biggest, most rousing round of applause that anybody's ever heard. Because whether dinner is served or not tonight will depend on your energy in bringing them on stage. So, without further ado, please welcome to the stage the chairman of Asia Times Square, Mr. Steve Lowe, and the CEO of Asia Times Square, Mr. Matthew Lowe.
Thank you. Mayor Jensen, Mayor Ross, dignitaries, generous sponsors, religious and community leaders, distinguished guests, family and friends. On behalf of Lowe family, Asia Times Square, the Lowe Foundation, and Hong Kong Marketplace, I want to sincerely welcome you and your family to the 16th annual Asia Times Square Lunar New Year opening ceremony. Thank you for coming. I also would like to take this opportunity once again to send our deeply appreciated for your support and guidance. We want to wish you and your family a very, very happy Lunar New Year. Chúc mừng năm mới. To our Chinese speaking, I want to say, 恭祝大家新春如意，年年进步，平安吉祥，恭喜发财，新春快乐。To our dear Vietnamese community, I want to say, chúc mừng năm mới. Chúc quý vị và gia đình một năm được an khang, thịnh vượng, vạn sự như ý. Chúc mừng.
Thank you, and Steve. And at this time, we would like to welcome to the stage Grand Prairie Mayor Ron Jensen and Arlington Mayor Jim Ross, where Mr. Steve Lowe and Mr. Matthew Lowe will be presenting them with drumsticks for the beating of the drum segments and welcoming our dragon dance. Please give them a big round of applause.
Prairie ở phía đây.
Mayor Jensen and Mayor Ross, you may already know this, but the beating of the drum represents a very significant event of this evening. The beating of the drums is meant to scare away the evil spirits and welcome the dragon to bring us all prosperity, good luck, and good fortune this year, so you did beautifully. Thank you for that. Next year, we're going to have a competition to see who does it better. In keeping with the motto and spirit of Asia Times Square, in preserving tradition and promoting culture, Asia's Times Square puts on these very festive Lunar New Year events for multiple reasons, one of which is so that Asian elderly people can relive celebrating as though they're still back in the homeland. And so the youth and those of non-Asian descent can take in all our vibrant traditions. This year, the year of the rabbit in China and the cat in Vietnam, we have a theme of hope and tranquility. Because with the coming of each spring brings a sense of hope in warmer days and new life. And even with all the exuberance, celebrations of firecrackers and lion dances, there's still a sense of calmness and peace in being able to celebrate with your loved ones. Kính thưa quý vị, The Low Foundation có một chủ đích là bảo tồn truyền thống và quảng bá văn hóa. Và mỗi năm đã tổ chức những cái buổi hội chợ Tết này thật là vui nhộn để mang lại sự hạnh phúc đến cho gia đình. Năm nay, năm Tết Nguyên Đán Quý Mão cũng không phải là ngoại lệ. Và chúng ta xin hãy welcome Matthew Lowe. Before we proceed any further, we'd like to recognize the religious leaders who are present here today. Kính thưa quý vị, trong ngày vui hôm nay, chúng ta xin hân hoan có sự hiện diện của những vị lãnh đạo tôn giáo. Chúng tôi xin giới thiệu những bậc đáng kính sau đây. Thứ nhất là Father Linh Mục Paul La Vang, Vương Lưu Thiện Tâm, from the Benedict Monastery, dòng Benedict Đa Viện Thiện, và thầy Thích Trung Nghiêm từ tu viện Phật Ân. Please give them a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. It is my distinguished honor to recognize our fellow dignitaries present here today. Please do me a favor and hold the applause until the end. Tonight we have Mayor Ron Jensen from the City of Grand Prairie, State Representative Chris Turner. From the Office of State Representative Salman Bohani, we have Ms. Emily Collins. Blanca Torres from Dallas County Commissioner Dr. Albert Garcia's office, Mayor Jim Ross, Mayor Ang Chung, former Mayor of Arlington Jeff Williams, City of Grand Prairie Councilman Jeff Izano, Councilman Mike DeBosky, Councilman John Lopez, Councilman Cole Humphrey, Councilwoman Georgia Clemson, Grand Prairie Board of Trustees, Gloria Carrillos, Trustees Brian Parra and Emily Lyles. With us, we also have City Manager Steve Dye, Police Chief Daniel Cessny, Arlington City Council Member Raul Gonzalez, Councilman Long Pham, Councilwoman Rebecca Boxall, Councilwoman Helen Moyes, and did I miss anybody else? And if I did, please accept my sincere apologies. At this time, I would like to invite Mayor Ron Jensen, State Representative Chris Turner, Mayor Jim Ross, and Mayor Ang Chung to share brief remarks.
Welcome. Look, Mayor Williams, good to have you here tonight. We've been up on this stage many times. Mayor Ross, thank you for coming. This is great to show that the two cities. Mayor Williams is here. Mayor Williams, thank you, Rebecca. I'm glad you're here. We shared this stage a lot, and now Mayor Ross is here, so I appreciate the relationship we've had. Didn't take us long to become friends, and I don't know that there's two other cities in the Metroplex that work together like we do. So, and it takes work. So thank you very much. Matthew Lowe, Steve, the Lowe Foundation, thank you for what you do for our city, for the cultures that you bring together. You're a friend of mine, but you do so much for our city. I appreciate that more than you know. Thank y'all for coming tonight. Chúc mừng năm mới.
I think Mayor Jensen speaks Vietnamese better than me. Ladies and gentlemen, we share this day so many years. Like Mayor Jensen already mentioned about Jeff Williams. We usually standing here without Ross, but now the time changed, and I welcome the state rep and all the mayor here, and Happy New Year to everyone. And I hope everyone have the best ever years. Each year, when the new year come in, I told my wife I got less than 1 year old. When I hit 70, next year will be 69, something like that. But because that's why I get shorter, I cannot gain more age. By the way, xin cảm ơn tất cả quý vị, chúc mừng tất cả quý vị một năm mới an khang thịnh vượng. Và chúc gia đình của ông Lô cũng như Hồng Kông Market mọi sự may mắn. I would like to thank you, Lô Foundation and Hong Kong Market, and everything you done for community, from culture, business in America. You make us so proud with you, just like you invite me here because you're so proud of me as the Asian American mayor. Thank you very much.
It's always a joy following these two fine mayors because they take everything I was going to say and I just get to stand here. Happy New Year. And to the Lowe family, thank you for always doing this. I'd like y'all to do me a favor tonight. For tonight, let's change how we look at wealth. And if we look at wealth based upon our relationships, our relationship with God and family and friends and co-workers and employees and employers, we're all very wealthy here in this room tonight. And that's what this community, that's what our communities are about. Mayor Jensen hit it on the head. I love Grand Prairie. I don't know if other mayors are supposed to say that I love another city, but I do. And that makes things, I love Haltom City also. I almost got in trouble. Anyway, I love y'all. I love these relationships. We have this opportunity because of the Lowe's Foundation. Thank you for that, and God bless y'all.
Well, oh, that's loud. Sorry. Good evening. It's great to be with you this evening. Happy New Year. It's a privilege for me to be here to share the stage with these outstanding three mayors who you've just heard from. To Matthew, thank you for always hosting this amazing event. I think it gets even better every year, which is hard to do. So thank you, and to your family and to your whole team here at Asia Times Square for hosting this every year. It's a great way to kick off the year. And this is a time of hope. It's a time of promise. We look forward to what this year will bring to all of us. For me, it's going to bring me to Austin here in a few days as we get our legislative session underway. So please wish myself and my colleagues in the legislature luck as we try to tackle some challenges confronting our state. But let me just say it is a privilege to represent Arlington and Grand Prairie and part of Mansfield in the Texas House of Representatives. This is a very rich community, as Mayor Ross said, and it is rich in so many ways, all the best ways, and it's a privilege to serve you in Austin. Thank you.
As you know, this event is very dear to me and my father, and we have a lot of dignitaries and community leaders that we cannot recognize everyone on stage. So please do pay attention, take a look at the screen. We are recognizing some very amazing community leaders. You know, for us to host an event of this size, we wouldn't be able to do so without their support. We wouldn't be able to do so without the generous sponsors. So please do pay attention to the screen. At this moment, I also want to point out there is one specific table in this room all stand alone by itself. And if you pay attention, we have a table right there in honor of Brandon Khai, our fallen police officer. I want to thank the police officer. In a few minutes, we will have a moment of silence. But I do want to say a few words first. The moment of silence is for the passing of Pope Benedict XVI, also the passing of Father Dominic Han. I call him Cha Han from the Benedictine Monastery. And also the moment of silence is for Officer Khai. My dad considered Cha Han a very close friend, a close family member. He has always enjoyed having dim sum with him, dinner with him, and every time I get a chance to greet Cha Han, he would always offer me a few words of encouragement. And he really means a lot to our family. So to the members of the church, we sincerely feel the pain. We are with you. Our prayers, condolences is with you. And for all the fallen officers, the police officers, the fire department, the nurses, the doctor, all of the first responders, you guys are truly our everyday hero. And just know how much Asia Times Square, myself, my family, respect for all the work that you guys do. Officer Khai, he was running in danger. He was going after and chasing the criminals. Whenever we have an emergency, we call 911. They're the one who run into danger as we run away from danger. So please remember that. There's an empty seat for Officer Brandon Khai. He's remembered. Chief Chesney, please share with the family that we are thankful for his service, and we will always remember him. Moment of silence begin now. Thank you very much.
In a moment, you will be served dim sum, and I wanted to offer you the significance of that. Dim sum was Officer Khai's favorite dish. The words dim sum literally translates into touch the heart. So how fitting that a meal like this is used to commemorate Officer Khai. The Low Foundation has a mission of spreading love, providing opportunity, and giving hope to all. And the best way to do this is through different charitable endeavors. At your table is a giving tree, and this is your opportunity to support and partner with their endeavors. This year, all the proceeds from the giving tree at the table, in addition to the sales of the t-shirts at the bar, 100% will go to the Grand Prairie Police Department in honor of Officer Khai. And as a token of our appreciation, when you make a donation, please take a red envelope at the tree, and inside each envelope is a lottery ticket. So who knows? A small token of your generosity can pay tenfold. Just don't forget to call me if you win big. Kính thưa quý vị, The Low Foundation có một mục đích quan trọng nhất là chia sẻ tình yêu, tạo ra niềm hy vọng và tạo ra sự hy vọng cho tất cả mọi người. Và cách tốt nhất để đoạt được mục đích này là qua những việc từ thiện. Ở mỗi bàn có một cái cây rất... Teresa xin đặt tên cái cây này là cây hoa anh đào bác ái. Và đây là cơ hội cho quý vị xin mở rộng trái tim và giúp The Low Foundation tiếp tục làm những việc thiện này. Cảm ơn quý vị. While you're being served dinner, would it be okay for me to serenade you with a song or two? Thank you. So the first song I'm going to sing tonight is a number that was written by Leonard Cohen back when I was still a baby. But I just love the beautiful melody over a simple chord progression. And more importantly, I feel like the meaning of the song is that no matter how much we falter, and even in the darkest hour, there's still a chance and a sense of hope. The song is called Hallelujah. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? And it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Well, I did my best, and it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I've told the truth, I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it may all go wrong, I stand before the Lord of song with nothing on my lips but hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Thank you. And to bring us back into the spirit of Lunar New Year, I'd like to sing a song in Vietnamese entitled Dreams of Spring. Kính thưa quý vị, vì chúng ta đang mừng Tết, Teresa xin gửi tặng bài đặc biệt cho những khán giả Việt. Bài này rất ngọt ngào và hy vọng sẽ mang lại cho quý vị một niềm vui và niềm xuân giống như đang ở quê hương. Bài này có tựa đề là Mộng Chiều Xuân. Gió chiều thầm vương bao nhớ nhung, người yêu thoáng qua trong giấc mộng, vui nguồn sống mơ những ngày mong chờ, trách ai đành tâm hững hờ. Mối tình đầu xuân ai thấu chăng, lòng tha thiết vương theo tiếng đàn, mơ đời ái ân những ngày phong trần, sống trong mộng đẹp ngày xuân. Ngây thơ dáng huyền đến trong mơ, lòng em bớt sầu. Mộng vàng phút tan theo gió chiều, biết anh về đâu. Hãy trả lời lòng em mấy câu, tình duyên với anh trong kiếp nào. Xuân còn thắm tươi, em còn mong chờ, ai ân kẻo tan ngày mơ. Gió chiều thầm vương bao nhớ nhung, người yêu thoáng qua trong giấc mộng, vui đời sống mơ những ngày mong chờ, trách ai đành tâm hững hờ. Mối tình đầu xuân ai thấu chăng, lòng tha thiết vương theo tiếng đàn, mơ đời ái ân những ngày phong trần, sống trong mộng đẹp ngày xuân. Ngây thơ dáng huyền đến trong mơ, lòng em bớt sầu. Mộng vàng phút tan theo gió chiều, biết anh về đâu. Hãy trả lời lòng em mấy câu, tình duyên với anh trong kiếp nào. Xuân còn đắm tươi, em còn mong chờ, ai ân kẻo tan ngày mơ. Xuân còn thắm tươi, em còn mong chờ, ai ân kẻo tan ngày mơ. Xin cảm ơn quý vị. And now we're going to have a short intermission while you enjoy your day. Welcome back. A lot of time, resources, and money goes into planning and executing such a grand event. And it would not be possible without the generous partnership and continued support of our generous donors. Kính thưa quý vị, và đây phần này chúng ta sẽ gửi lời cảm tạ với những nhà hỗ trợ. Tại vì nếu không có sự ủng hộ và đồng hành thì chúng ta sẽ không có những buổi tiệc và những hội chợ Tết hoành tráng như thế này. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Mr. Steve Lowe and Mr. Matthew Lowe, who will have our recognition segment and thanking our top sponsors. Our title sponsors of the evening are City of Grand Prairie and Grand Prairie Police Department. Please welcome to the stage City Manager Steve Dye, representing the City of Grand Prairie, and Chief Daniel Sesney to represent the Grand Prairie Police Department. Please give them a round of applause.
Good evening and welcome to the great city of Grand Prairie. We're so honored with your presence. I want to wish everybody a happy Lunar New Year. We hope your time in our city is safe and enjoyable. Lowe family, Matthew, Steve, and all of your family, the Lowe Foundation, thank you for what you all do for all of our communities. We appreciate it. I'll let Chief Sesney talk about the tribute to Officer Sy a little bit more, but that means so much to us in our city. So thank you all. Wish you all health and prosperity for 2023. Chúc mừng năm mới.
I can tell you there's zero chance I'm going to be able to say that. But I would like to say very briefly our deepest gratitude to the Lowe family. For you to set a special place of honor to our fallen brother means more to us than you'll ever know. Brandon's shift mates are with us here tonight, and you have made us feel like more than just part of this community, but part of your family. And that's something we'll never forget, and we're eternally grateful. So thank you both, your entire family, the foundation, of all of you. Thank you.
At this moment, we also want to invite Mr. An Huy Hu from Voices of Vietnamese American Radio, 1600 AM. For those who don't know, Radio 1600 has been in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex for decades now. It is the longest standing Vietnamese radio in DFW. And now, recently, they have decided to join the ATS family and are now, their studio is inside Asia Times Square. So I'm just so happy for them to be part of this family and for them to be able to deliver to you good news, important news, and current events. An Huy Hu, thank you for your sponsorship.
Thank you, anh Minh Lo và anh Steve Lo. We would like first to say in Vietnamese, and we will try to make it very short. Thưa quý hội đồng hương, quý hội đoàn người Việt quốc gia và quý cơ sở thương mại, trước hết chúng tôi xin được gửi lời cảm ơn tới ban tổ chức của đêm chợ hoa, cũng như Trung tâm Thương mại và Văn hóa Asia Times Square đã cho chúng tôi là đại diện của đài VVA 1600 AM, tiếng nói của người Việt quốc gia tại Dallas-Fort Worth, có được cơ hội đứng trên sân khấu của ngày khai mạc đêm chợ hoa 2023 để gửi tới quý đồng hương, quý hội đoàn và quý cơ sở thương mại lời chào thân ái. Và nhân đây cũng xin được gửi tới quý vị lời cảm ơn đã tin tưởng và lắng nghe các chương trình của đài kể từ ngày 1 tháng 10 khi đài được thành lập. Chúng tôi cũng không quên gửi lời cảm ơn tới các cơ sở thương mại đã bảo trợ cho đài qua hình thức quảng cáo để chúng tôi có phương tiện hoạt động. Nhân dịp ngày khai mạc đêm chợ hoa và Tết Nguyên đán sắp đến, chúng tôi xin kính chúc quý đồng hương, quý hội đoàn và quý cơ sở thương mại một năm mới quý mão, an khang, thịnh vượng, và xin quý vị tiếp tục ủng hộ cho đài VVA 1600 AM bằng cách tiếp tục theo dõi và lắng nghe các chương trình cũng như bảo trợ quảng cáo cho đài. Xin cảm ơn.
Dạ vâng, Quỳnh Trang cũng xin kính chào quý ông bà, cô chú và các anh chị. Một năm mới nhiều tài lộc và tâm thân an vui. Quỳnh Trang xin mạn phép một vài phút nói tiếng Mỹ với lại những người nước ngoài ở đây. Good evening to all of our city county and state officials, as well as friends and family. We at BVA 1600 AM, which is the longest running Vietnamese AM radio in Dallas-Fort Worth, are honored to be here as a sponsor. We would like to thank Asia Times Square for hosting such an important event that brings people together to celebrate our culture and welcome Lunar New Year. We also would like to thank our loyal audience for all of your warm greetings and sincere wishes on the grand opening day of our radio station. Our rich programs will continue to improve as we work hard to inform our listeners of news and current events. We greatly appreciate your continuous support, and we encourage business owners and companies to give us the opportunity to help you gain more business and expand into our Vietnamese community. Once again, we wish you a Happy New Year and a year of happiness, success, and prosperity. Chúc mừng năm mới.
Thank you again to all of our sponsors. We would also like to recognize the sponsors listed on our program. In addition to those which will be shown on the screen, please give them a round of applause. Next up is a very special segment. We have the singing dynamic duo, husband and wife, and these two have been famous for very, very long. They've performed all over Asia, Europe, and been associated and worked with many music production companies. Kính thưa quý vị, bây giờ là tiết mục mà quý vị đang đợi cả đêm. Xin mời cặp đôi đẹp tài năng Công Thành và Liên.
Thank you, Teresa. Kính thưa quý vị, Công Thành xin được kính chào tất cả quý vị. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Công Thành and this is my wife Lynn, all the way from Australia. And it's a great pleasure for us to be here tonight to perform a few songs for all of you here. And first of all, I would like to do an English song. And then my wife will sing a Vietnamese song. And then we will end up with her singing a Chinese song.
Fully.
So make it a little bit. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And we have my very good friend Ming as a one-man band for us tonight. So would you please put your hands together for Ming? Thank you. And this is a song that is very appropriate tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A song called Stand By Me. The dance floor is yours, by the way. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Oh, yeah. Stand by me. When the sky that we look upon fall and the mountain should crumble to the sea. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all the dancers, and
thank you.
We might get some new dances on the song.
It's gonna be a cha-cha-cha. And the Vietnamese are very famous for dancing the cha-cha-cha, ladies and gentlemen.
Cha-cha-cha kind of goes like this. You just go back, forward,
Come on,
cha-cha-cha.
we don't have time for that.
Forward, back, cha-cha-cha. It's
Okay,
easy.
give me a key of G, please.
Saigon de plum, Saigon ơi.
Everybody, please.
Somebody help me with the
Just
Vietnamese
ơi.
version. Just an ơi for me. Saigon. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yo luôn. Cha cha. Oh yeah. Dừng chân trên bến khi chờ nắng chưa phai, đường xa thấp thoáng cả áo tung bay. Phố xa tinh thần đón chân tôi đến chung vui. Sài Gòn đẹp lắm, Sài Gòn ơi, Sài Gòn ơi. Người say như nước trên đường vắng qua màu. Người ra thăm bến cao trò nói xôn xao. Nếp sống vui tươi đón chân tôi đến chung vui. Sài Gòn đẹp lắm, Sài Gòn ơi, Sài Gòn ơi. La 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 la, la 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 la. Ôi đời đẹp quá thiên hòa niềm vui say xưa. La 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 la, la 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 la. Ôi đời đẹp quá trong bao ý thơ. Một tình yêu mến ghi lời hát câu ca. Để lòng thương nhớ mang vắng nơi xa. Sống mãi trong tôi bóng hôm nay sẽ không phai. Sài Gòn đẹp lắm, Sài Gòn ơi, Sài Gòn ơi, cha cha cha, hey. La 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 la, la 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 la. Ôi đời đẹp quá thiên hòa niềm vui say xưa. La 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 la, la 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 la. Ôi đời đẹp quá trong bao ý thơ. Một tình yêu mến ghi lời hát câu ca. Để làm thương nhớ bao ngày vắng hay xa. Sống mãi trong tôi bóng hôm nay sẽ không phai. Sài Gòn đẹp lắm, Sài Gòn ơi, Sài Gòn ơi. Sống mãi trong tôi bóng hôm nay sẽ không phai. Sài Gòn đẹp lắm, hey. Sài Gòn and now you, Sài Gòn. Cha cha cha. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one that have to teach her
Yeah.
Vietnamese from the beginning.
Khóc nhiều lắm.
But this next song, I'm not responsible because it's gonna be in Chinese. And I don't know nothing about
Well,
Chinese.
we hope
Our
it's gonna be in
friend taught
Chinese.
her.
I know.
Yes.
If
So-
anybody knows this song and you want to get up and help me, if you are really Chinese,
And please.
we need to check your passport first.
And
because we
I
don't
think
believe you.
You guys can sing this one along with Lynn. Come
Okay.
on.
Anyone gonna help me? I think you know it. Hey. Ho. Okay, the band just worked out the song. We'll get there.
天地悠悠，过客炯炯，交际又相落。恩恩怨怨，生死白头，几人能看透？红尘也滚滚，此情也今生，几生终有时。留一半真情，留一半醉，就像梦里有你追随。我那青春透明铁，你自己光之上，谁又不知恋尘，多少的忧伤，何不潇洒走一回？天地悠悠，过客炯炯，交际又交落。恩恩怨怨，生死白头，几人能看透？红尘也滚滚，此事也今生，几生终有时。留一半真情，留一半醉，只想梦里有你追随。我那青春透明铁，你让自己光之上，谁又不知恋尘，多少的忧伤，何不潇洒走一回？谁又不知恋尘，多少的忧伤，何不潇洒走一回？Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ladies and
Công nghiệp
gentlemen.
Bác Choi, chúc mừng năm mới và Happy New Year to you all.
Good night.
Thank you so much, Anh Công Thành và chị Lynn. I absolutely loved your segment. You were wonderful. We would also like to thank our keyboardist, Anh Minh, and sound man, Leo, in addition to the rest of the crew who worked tirelessly behind the background to make this event as successful as it is today. And now for a very, very, very special segment that I am so happy and proud to announce, we have Miss Avery Bishop, Miss Texas, joining us tonight as a special guest speaker. Miss Avery Bishop was crowned the 85th anniversary Miss Texas and is the first Miss Texas of Asian descent. Please give her a round of applause. In addition to her obvious beauty, she is also a Filipino American, first generation law school graduate, social media consultant, and viral influencer. There's so many talents, it's like unfair to the rest of us. We would also especially like to highlight her achievement as CEO and her dedication to international nonprofit, the Too Long Foundation, an organization with the mission to ensure that every child has equitable access to education, food, wellness resources, beauty with brains and a heart. So I'd also like to mention that there is a giving tree over there. And so this is your chance to also support Avery's Too Long Foundation. All the proceeds of that giving tree will go to support them and their cause. Also, I know that a lot of you are very anxious and want to take a picture with Miss Texas. How often do we get that chance? So I would ask that you wait until the end of the show, and she will make herself available because she's very, very gracious. So, without much further ado, welcome Miss Texas Avery Bishop.
Thank you, appreciate it. Imagine yourself waking up on a Tuesday morning and you're headed to your typical work day, or you're going to school. You decide to bring your lunch with you because that's what you typically do on a weekday. You go to your kitchen, you open the fridge, and there's some fruits that you're considering eating. And for some reason, because of the day, you decide to take out the cantaloupe that's been sitting in your fridge for a while. You chop up the cantaloupe, you pack it into a container, and you're off to go to, say, UTA or SMU here in North Texas. Then, during lunch, after a few hours of work or class, like me, you take out your lunch. And for some reason, again, no thought to this, you set your phone down and you simply film what you're eating for lunch that day. In 20 seconds, you open your cantaloupe and you share with the world your study snack you brought to school. And overnight, that video gets 24 million views. It's seen across the world. And I tell you the story because that cantaloupe eating student in the law school library that went viral was me last year. And in just 1 year, I've amassed almost 1 million followers across the internet, averaging about 55 million views per month. And I work with companies like Google and Microsoft to make education more accessible for students like myself. I get to go to LA and New York and work with executives telling them what students of color and first-generation students desperately need for their college degrees. So I create all kinds of content on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, mostly about day-in-the-life content and my career path. But I wasn't always the confident cantaloupe eating TikTok star that stands before you now. I was actually really shy as a kid, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about over the next 6 to 7 minutes. I'm going to show you and teach you how I grew into the confident person that I am today, and how I take my success and I invest it back into the communities I get to work with. I'm gonna teach you how to grow. And that's, I hope, a theme that you can take with you this year as we start the new year of 2023. I grew up in a household where both my parents worked 2 jobs each, and going to college wasn't necessarily an option on the table. In fact, I didn't really know how to fill out a FAFSA form. I had to do it all by myself, and I watched YouTube videos to figure it out. I also felt very insecure about the way I looked. I am obviously Filipino-American, and I grew up in Prosper, Texas. And for those, who knows where Prosper is? Anybody? Okay, Prosper didn't exist on the map, okay, 10 years ago. And it was certainly very white dominated, with communities who look like my father. So I'm half white, half Filipino. So I have this really cool place in my school, in my community, where I get to be a part of both incredible communities. But because I didn't see anybody who looked like me in my classrooms, and because I didn't see anybody in my community who looked like me as well, I felt that what made me different kept me from achieving what I was meant to achieve. So I set out on a journey to learn more about how I could become more confident and grow myself. I entered law school at SMU, and my first semester went terribly, horribly wrong. I mean, think to yourself the worst things that could possibly happen to you when you go off and you spend lots of money on a very expensive university. I got really bad grades my first semester. I felt very anxious and depressed, and in combination with the pandemic starting, I was in a terrible spiral my first year of law school. I was considering dropping out. I really didn't know what I was going to do with my life. So during the pandemic, like many of you who were quarantined, we had to find new things to do. So I grew a garden. I started growing vegetables in my backyard, and I grew a giant green bell pepper, so big, the size of my face, that I decided to name this giant green bell pepper Big Daddy. And Big Daddy, this giant green bell pepper, is no longer with us anymore because I ate the green bell pepper named Big Daddy. But I grew this vegetable garden with my hands, and it taught me that I could grow myself and others as well. Now, learning that it's really important to give kindness to yourself and others, respect one another, have an open mind, open heart about your own differences and the differences around you, and welcoming the differences around the world. That's GROW, grow. You can grow those around you as well. That's what I do as Miss Texas. Many of you are probably thinking, Avery, you went to law school and now you have this hat and this sash on you. What are you doing? Are you using your JD in a traditional sense? The answer is no. I am managing my consulting business, managing my nonprofit, but the greatest honor is being the first Asian American to represent the state of Texas in the 85-year history of our organization. And I just got to be on stage at Miss America to be the way that I look and represent the communities that I come from for the very first time for Texas. It was such an honor to do that. And now I'm back here in Texas, and what I do is I go into schools and I teach the importance of diversity and inclusion through a metaphor, and you guessed it, about growing a garden. I have a children's book, and every purchase you make of my children's book goes to my nonprofit. And the story is about growing a diverse garden, because every flower, whether your color, your size, your shape, or the soil that you grow in, deserves the same amount of water, light, and love, so that every flower can grow into its greatest potential. Thank you for having me, and I encourage all of you to grow yourself and to grow those around you.
Thank you, Avery, for your very profound message. I loved it. But if you've noticed, there was something that was missing. You see, Avery is very, very humble, so she doesn't like to brag about her accomplishments. Let me fill in and ask the questions all the inquiring minds want to know.
Sure.
You're a law school graduate, so I got to prepare you for the future.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with your best shot.
Okay. So my first question is, what initially piqued your interest in the beauty pageant world? And what made you decide to finally compete for Miss Texas?
The major reason why I went and competed at... Oh, should I move? Do you need me to move? Oh, okay. No worries. Directions from the stage, don't worry. The main reason why I decided to compete in Miss America specifically is because it's one of the largest scholarship givers for women across the U.S. They give millions of dollars for women, and it's essentially a leadership training program for specifically women like myself. So I joined 3 years ago, still feeling somewhat insecure about the way that I looked and where I came from, my financial insecurities as well. I actually joined my first Miss America local with like negative $25 in my bank account. That was my first year going to law school as well. Number one was for the scholarship money. I have won about $86,000 just competing alone in the Miss America organization, of which all went to my law school student debt, unfortunately, and we're slowly paying that off. The second main reason, looking back now, is really just to showcase the importance of representation. I think it truly helps younger children when they see people who look like them doing the things that they want to do as well.
Thank you so very much, and we are so deeply proud of how well you represented the great Lone Star State in the Miss America competition. And just so you know, not only is Avery Miss Texas, but she was second runner-up at the Miss America pageant.
I know, so close.
So you can't be a social media influencer without accepting some questions online. So Avery was a good sport about it and worked in conjunction with Asia Times Square staff to pull some engagement for this event and get some questions from the world of Instagram. So I'm going to read those off to you.
Okay.
How do you deal? This question is from Studying Birdie 467.
Oh.
How do you deal with stage fright or anxiety when speaking in front of a large audience?
Oh, wow. Great question. One of my greatest ways that I grew confidence was actually through speech and debate in high school. It was one of the things my mom actually encouraged me to do. And thanks to developing and learning alongside coaches who invested in me, I was able to overcome a lot of the nerves and anxiety that's usually associated with public speaking. I also think that the lack of nerves comes from performance. I was originally a musical theater major before I switched my majors over to human rights and sociology. I will admit though, no matter the amount of speeches I give, and I've given quite a lot as Miss Texas, I've given keynotes in Chicago, California, Los Angeles, and pretty much almost every university in Texas, I still get a little nervous backstage. And if you are scared of public speaking, my greatest piece of advice is to speak to yourself in the mirror and then have someone also film you on your phone. It's a little cringy, but I highly recommend it. Helps with your confidence.
Well, you've done flawlessly tonight.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you for that. Our second question is from Minsu16. What's been your favorite AAPI initiative or advocacy this past year?
Well, I'm a little biased. Number one, my own nonprofit with my mom, the Too Long Foundation. We founded the nonprofit back in 2015 to provide scholarships to children in her village on Mindanao. But our nonprofit has since expanded. Not only do we provide micro-entrepreneurial funding to women who want to start their own businesses, we also built the very first library in her province last year. And it's an honor to say that we're building a second library in the Philippines as well this year too. So it's one of my favorite advocacies.
That is so wonderful. Thank you for your continuing commitment to serve others. We really love that about you. And then now we're going to have some fun.
Okay.
She's such a good sport that she's willing to take some live questions from the audience. Do we have any brave souls who would like to ask a question?
I'll take one. I'll answer anything. Anything's on the table.
Okay, so since nobody wants to ask, I want to ask a question that somebody told me before this event.
Ooh.
Okay. When I said we have the first Asian Miss Texas at our show tonight, the first question out of his mouth is she single? So first and foremost, we're not going to be answering that question tonight. However, if she were single and she was looking, there would be a very stringent selection process with at least 5 reputable resources and an extensive background search conducted by yours truly.
Okay. And a contract. You're going to write up the contract.
And a contract with application fees. So thank you so much, Avery. Please remember to support and donate to her Too Long Foundation at that tree over there. And she will be available for pictures after the show. Please give her another round of applause. Next, we'd like to introduce to the stage Miss Lynn McGinley, who is the president of the Low Foundation for recognition of the nonprofit organizations.
I forgot something. This is my favorite time of year. Welcome to the 2023 Lunar New Year, Year of the Rabbit and the Cat. I'm Lynn McGinley, President, CEO of the Low Foundation, and I'm pleased to be here with you tonight. As many of you know, the Low Foundation mission is to share love, create opportunity, and give hope to all. Tonight we're sharing love, opportunity, and hope by funding community nonprofits so they can continue the wonderful work they're doing taking care of our community. We're creating opportunity by giving scholarships to some of the most deserving students you'll ever find. And we give hope to all the people that benefit from the services of our temples and churches. Now it's time to give gifts. Teresa,
Lynn,
you're going to help me.
Lynn, Matthew tells me that you've been practicing your Vietnamese and you want to show it off tonight. You want to make an attempt?
I'll do the first one.
Okay, go ahead.
St. Joseph's Catholic Church.
That was done very well. It's like you're a native speaker.
Thank you.
We also have Tu Viện Phật Ân Temple. And this one, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Thai Temple, Wat Busudaminvaradmam. I'm so sorry. We also have Tu Quang Temple, Liên Hoa Temple, Vietnamese Martyrs Catholic Church, Benedictine Monastery of Thiện Tâm, and Pháp Quang Temple. Thank you.
You'll notice the Lowe family is passing out the donations to those particular nonprofits and churches and temples at their tables. So now for our nonprofits and community organizations. Children First Incorporated. Cinco de Mayo. CTE Scholarships. Grand Prairie Homeless Outreach Organization. Grand Prairie Police Department. Grand Prairie Police Department Special Olympics. Grand Prairie United Charities. Isaiah House. Lifeline. St. Faustina. Toulon Foundation. Viet Hope. And VMAS. Please join me at this time thanking these fine organizations for all the work they do in our community. And now we have a very special gift. I'd like you to welcome to the stage the Senior Vice President of Impact for the Texas Ranger Foundation, Karen Morris, and the Director of Development, Justin Henry. Karen, would you like to say a few words?
On behalf of the Texas Rangers Baseball Club and the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation, we are truly honored and humbled to be here tonight. Matthew and his family have been a huge supporters of the Rangers, but have also been instrumental in helping us understand how the Texas Rangers Baseball Club and the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation can better support the Asian American community. So thank you, Matthew, for all of your support and all that you've done for the Rangers organization. We are very proud to support youth across the community and very proud to support first responders and their families, military, scholarships, health and wellness, and look forward to partnering with the Lowe Foundation in the future on many other opportunities in the community. And let's hope 2023 is the Rangers' year too.
I think it was 2 years ago, Karen and Justin reached out to me and asked me to be on the board. I was a little bit hesitant, but they promised me that it's only once a quarter. And no, we went through a process. I met with them, and I ended up understanding what they're trying to do. And during this 2 years journey with the foundation, I was really at awe. For me to visit the facility and to watch the lives that they've changed in those kids really is what the Lowe Foundation wants to do. So tonight, I want to commit to the Rangers Foundation that we are donating $25,000 to the Rangers Foundation.
test. Yes, it's on. At this time, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Jennifer Cowley, the first female president of the University of Texas at Arlington and the 10th overall. She is also a professor of public affairs and planning in the College of Architecture, Planning, and Public Affairs. Dr. Cowley has dedicated her career to public service. Before joining UT Arlington, she was the provost and vice president for academic affairs at the University of North Texas, where she led economic development partnerships, advanced diversity and inclusion initiatives, fostered student success, bolstered the research portfolio, and helped increase enrollment. She worked at The Ohio State University for 16 years, serving as the Vice Provost for Capital Planning and Regional Campuses, Associate Dean of the College of Engineering, Head of City and Regional Planning, and a professor during her time there. While at OSU, Cowley also led 4 regional campuses, helped aid faculty in improving teaching quality and advancing effectiveness, and created a capital plan that led to more than $1 billion, that's with a B, $1 billion in development over a 5-year period. Prior to entering academia, Cowley worked in city government in Amarillo and College Station. She earned her PhD in urban and regional science, master's degree in urban planning, and bachelor's degree in political science at Texas A&M University, and master's in interdisciplinary studies in public administration from UNT. She is a fellow of American Institute of Certified Planners and a member of the Executive Committee of the Council on Academic Affairs in the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities. An Arlington native, Cowley and her husband, John, have a teenage son, Nathan, and a pet chinchilla named Chinchi. Thank you so much, President Cowley, for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be able to join you today, and the Year of the Cat and the Year of the Rabbit, I think, are the perfect descriptions for what we do to help support our students in their success. When we think about cats, they always land on their feet, no matter how far from where they have fallen. And that's one of the things that we teach is resilience and persistence, a willingness to try new things, even if it's jumping a little farther than we're comfortable with. And when we think of rabbits, they use their best attributes to achieve success. And that's something we teach our students too at UTA. We are so proud of the way that we get to serve the communities of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, to embrace so many of the students from our Asian communities and to help them on a path to success, to teach them that resilience, to teach them how to use their best qualities to achieve great outcomes. Thank you for allowing me to join me today in this wonderful festivity, and all the best and Happy New Year.
At this moment, I would like to invite one of our board of directors, Clayton Fisher, to the stage to recognize our scholars.
Thank you, Matthew. It's always a pleasure to be up here, especially when you have to follow such a distinguished resume as I just had to follow. But then they say, well, Clayton, it's not you we're bringing up to the stage, it's the scholarships, it's the kids that we care about, and otherwise I wouldn't be up here. So my name is Clayton Fisher. I've served on the Lowe Foundation board for a handful of years, and they always give me the opportunity to recognize and introduce the applicants for this year's Lowe Foundation scholarships. And really, when you think about the amount of candidates that we get and the ultimately the decisions that we have to make, this is a time that's not only very exciting, but nerve-wracking, because we're never going to give these kids especially in this time frame, the due that they all have achieved so far in their young lives. I mean, some of their resumes, and we've provided some of their bios on the back of your programs at the ages of 18, 19, and 20. I mean, these are kids that are going to be changing our world and continuously shaping our communities. And so I encourage you, if you haven't looked at the bios on the back of each of these students, to take a brief look at it. I also really encourage everybody, because again, only in a few moments up here, I can't provide everybody's bio in detail, which is why tomorrow night, at a virtual recognition at 6:30 on Facebook Live, we're going to introduce each of these kids and let them highlight a lot more of their resumes, including their essays, including some of the community work that they've done. So if you have the availability tomorrow, we would really encourage you to join us on Facebook Live at 6:30. But for tonight, my job, other than come up here and ramble for a few minutes, is to introduce each one of the 6 Low Foundation Scholarship recipients. And as I bring them to the stage, I'd ask that as they make their way one by one, we'll line up, and we're going to award 5 of these 6 with $1,000 scholarship. And then we will announce the main prize of $5,000 to one lucky individual. And they all know they're getting some funds, but none of them except for us up here know that who's going to win the $5,000. So we're going to kind of build some excitement as we go along. So with that being said, as I call your name, please come up to the stage. So the first on the list is Kang Boy. Lily Dang. Jimmy Liang. We do have one that's not here, but we're going to recognize her. Her name is Michaela Nguyen. She was sick tonight. Next is Kelly Robertson. And the last is Quinn Ni Tran. Once again, each one of y'all, congratulations. I'm really impressed with each one of y'all. And unfortunately, it's my job to say that the winner, and again, each one of your accomplishments, I'm building up the suspense a little bit, they told me to. But with that being said, the grand prize of $5,000 this year goes to Lily Dang. Congratulations, everybody.
You know, this is one of my favorite part, and I want to really thank Lynn and Clayton, Melody, and Steve for helping us reviewing all the resume. These kids is going to change life. I really believe that. They will change life. But I do want to say something to you, scholars. When I was fortunate enough at a very young age, such as yourself, to receive a scholarship when I received it, and let's not go back what year it was, but when I received it, I was so grateful and so thankful, and I made a promise to myself, and I hope you guys would follow this what I'm about to say. When I received that money, I told myself that one day I'm going to give it back. When I was able to give back that money, the next year, I want to give double the amount. When I'm able to succeed even further, my goal was to give 10 times what I received. Now I want to give it back 100 times what I received. So my encouragement to you all is to do well. I believe in you. You guys are all going to succeed, but pay it forward, please. Again, please thank and congratulate our scholars.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the future of our leadership. So I'm very, very proud of them. I believe that their stories will be online. So if you're interested in getting to know more about these recipients, you can do that. So next, to introduce the person who will be offering the closing remarks, I'd like to talk a little bit about him. He, in addition to running a massive empire, he is involved with countless charitable organizations. He is someone who is not only highly intelligent, greatly accomplished, has the biggest humble heart, but is also someone I'm proud to call a friend. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Matthew Lowe.
Did you guys enjoy how I slowly step down and wait to be introduced again? For those who are new to our event, it is truly my great honor to give the closing remarks. This year's is very special. First, I want to thank my good friend Teresa Nguyen for being our MC. Thank you, Teresa. She's just not an attorney, but she's definitely an attorney with a beautiful voice. Man, good job, Dan. Cảm ơn anh Công Thành and chị Lynn for a wonderful performance. My goodness. Watching her sing in Vietnamese makes me think, how about Steve Dye next year singing Vietnamese? Is that going to work, Mimi? Can we make that happen? There you go. All the officers over there is clapping. And then also I want to say a huge thank you to Miss Texas, Avery Bishop. You carry such a beauty, grace, and I love your kindred heart. Thank you so much for representing our Asian community so well. I mean, to be the first Asian American to be Miss Texas is quite an accomplishment. And also to be second runner-up for Miss America. Thank you so much. I want to thank the Pearl Restaurant, and I really want to thank the Dubisky Culinary students for serving our food today. I think many of you all know that I love collaboration, I love partnership, and as a product of a public school, I love public school. I love everything that AISD, GPISD, even Mansfield ISD, all the ISD, they're all really working hard. I think teachers in our society, for whatever reason, is not getting the respect that they deserve. And I want to thank all the educators out there for doing what you do. I want to thank the president of UT Arlington, Dr. Jennifer Cowley. Thank you so much for your presence, your remark, and our continued partnership. As a UT Arlington graduate, I am proud of all the accolades and all the awards that have been accumulated over the years. But I'm extremely excited for where UTA is heading under your leadership. I thought about what I can say on stage that will make you proud of me. I thought about rounding up my GPA and then rounding it up again when I graduated. But then I know you will have someone go verify it, so we can't go there. So the story that I want to share with you that separate UTA from other Tier 1, hopefully you'll like this. So I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree, and I ended up working for Peerless Manufacturing for about 5 years. And I do have proof. That's why I invited my friend Dustin. I worked with him there. So I worked for 5 years. And then I had one conversation with my dad. He asked me to come back and help the family business, just like all the dads do. And I told him, I will, but I want to make history. I want to be an alumnus that no other university can claim. So I told him that I want to be the highest paid cashier in the history of America. And so he did. I was the highest paid cashier in America. So Dr. Kelly, you know, you can put that on a plaque somewhere at UTA. But highest paid cashier, check mark. But in all seriousness, I think the education that I received in Arlington, especially in the mechanical engineering department, made me very curious that in order for me to help my family business, I told my dad I needed to start from the bottom. And that's why I wanted to be a cashier and work my way up. So for all the scholars, all the scholarship recipients, and any students, I'm standing here as a businessman telling you that if you want a good return on investment, UT Arlington. Think about that. I want to thank our Mayor, Ron Jensen, our Mayor, Jim Ross, for participating in our traditional drumming to wake up the dragon and to kick off the new year. Special thanks to our religious leaders, dignitaries, sponsors, business partners, and those who have chosen Asia Times Square to be their place of business. Thank you for honoring us with your presence in our 16th year of hosting the Lunar New Year celebration. On behalf of Asia Times Square, we are blessed to preserve tradition and promote culture. On behalf of Hong Kong Marketplace, we are thankful and grateful for the opportunity to serve you all for the past 36 years. To our staff and volunteers, thank you for your time and effort in preparing this Lunar New Year event. It was quite a challenge because the Lunar New Year was January 1, and here we are, January 6th. What a tremendous task they had, and what a wonderful job they did. Thank you all so very much. Leo, Big Lum, Jesus, William, Lissette, and Kirk. I'm also very thankful for Lynn McGinley, the president and CEO of the Lowe Foundation. I'm thankful to the board of directors, my sister Melody Lowe, Steve Lowe, and my dear friend Clayton Fisher. To our generous sponsors, some who have asked to remain anonymous, thank you for your kindness. We are extremely blessed and grateful to be able to give back to our community through this foundation. We are one of those boat people who escaped Vietnam. After a long 2-year journey, we won the lottery ticket. We came to America in 1979. While we were in the refugee camp, all we had was hope. We were hoping someone would sponsor our family to America. And our prayers were answered. Aunt Bonnie and Uncle Bill Manitra, who we call angels, sponsor us to America. When we landed here, we had absolutely nothing. You can only imagine the difficulty for us to adapt to this newfound land, especially when we couldn't even speak the language. What really separates America from other nations in the world is the abundance of opportunities. We took advantage of the opportunities and worked very hard to be where we are right now. We came to the city of Arlington, the American Dream City, as fast as we could, and we are very blessed to have businesses in the city of Arlington and our wonderful city of Grand Prairie. We are truly living the American dream, and it has been our goal to give back because of all we were giving. Tonight, although she's not able to attend, I want to thank Devin Allen for her leadership and guidance during her 4 years as our Tarrant County Commissioner, and more importantly, her friendship. As we are saying goodbye to 2022, I do want to thank our State Representative, Chris Turner, for his leadership and support of Asia Times Square. While we will no longer be in your district starting 2023, you are family and always welcome here. I will thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do. I hope to continue to work with you regardless of the boundary. It has been our tradition to celebrate 2 weeks before the actual Lunar New Year, which this year will be January 22nd. Therefore, we will have our firecracker show along with the dragon and lion dance performances on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. to scare away the evil spirits. And then on Sunday at noon, on the actual Lunar New Year date, we will host another firecracker with lion dancing to bring in good fortune and luck to all. On that day, we will welcome the Year of the Water Rabbit in most part of Asia and the Year of Cat in Vietnam. The sign of the rabbit and cat is a symbol of longevity, hope, and prosperity in our Asian culture. 2023 is predicted to be Year of the Hope. We are hopeful for unity as we celebrate diversity. Lunar New Year is a time of celebration and renewal for many people around the world. It allows us to connect with our cultural heritage and tradition. It is a way to honor our customs and values of our ancestors and to pass those traditions to the next generation. It is a time to honor the past and look forward to the future. Allow me to share with you some great news at Asia Times Square. We are excited that Noble Jewelry, Vedic King, and Seven Leaves Cafe opened up their business in 2022, and all of them are doing well. I'm even more excited to announce that Paris Baguette will have their grand opening next Thursday, January the 12th. Furthermore, after years of recruiting, we are pleased to now publicly announce we signed a 10-year lease with a very popular Taiwanese bakery known as 85 Degree C Bakery and Cafe. Also, on the second floor of our food court, will be home to dozens of claw machines and karaoke. The business name is called Clutch'em, and I welcome them so very much. It's going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of youth to the food court. In addition, we are in process of renovating another 15,000 square foot space to host concerts and sporting events. As you can see, we are continually reinvesting in our property and are working very hard to improve traffic for our business partner. But as I have shared to many of you, to me, Asia Times Square is much more than a business. With all these undertakings peering over the horizon, our vision is to become the destination connecting cultures and communities. We are trying to fulfill our purpose by playing a part in replacing ignorance with acceptance. And we know there is no purpose without pursuit. Pursuit is the vehicle to purpose. It is what gives purpose its value. The City of Grand Prairie, along with so many generous sponsors, allow us to pursue our purpose. I want to thank my friend Steve Dye, Mayor Ron Jensen, the entire City Council of Grand Prairie for their support, along with so many generous sponsors. I want to thank Việt Hùng and Huy Uy of Voices of Vietnamese American 1600 AM. I want to thank Stephanie Gonzalez with Citibank, who has been a sponsor for us since day one. This is their 16th year sponsoring our event. I want to thank Tracy McGahey with Hired Allen and Loughton. Thank you to everyone else, everyone here, outside, thank you for celebrating with us tonight. The support and generosity from you, our friends, our volunteers, our patrons, our vendors, our business partners, transform our purpose into reality. For that, I wish you, your family, good fortune, happiness, and great health. Thank you. Lastly, thank you so much. It has been a tradition that I end my closing remarks by saying Happy New Year in a couple of languages. And since we're talking about unity, I hope you would join me in saying Happy New Year in Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean. And we go with a simpler and then move up to a harder one, okay? So let's start with Chinese. 新年快乐. Say it with me. 新年快乐. Very good. In Vietnamese, it is Chúc mừng năm mới. Chúc mừng năm mới. The next one, it gets a little harder. It is in Korean, and so if you butcher it, I might have to sleep in the couch tonight, so please work with me here. Ready? Here's Korean. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. It looked like a lot of people gave up. Okay, one more time. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. I think I'm gonna get acquainted with the couch tonight. All right, here's the last one, the most difficult one. It took me 30 years to nail it. All right, so let's say it with me. Happy Lunar New Year, y'all. One more time. Now, I want you to put some of that Southern Texan twang into it now, okay? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Happy New Year, y'all. Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matthew. And our beautiful Miss Texas will be available at the Giving Tree for the Too Long Foundation for pictures.
Chúc cụ già được sống lâu sống thọ cùng con cháu sang năm lại đón